Hi, I'm Neil Garfield. I'm the editor of www.livinglies.wordpress.com, the leading blog resource for foreclosure defense on the internet. Today we're going to talk about steps toward freedom. And before I do that, let me remind you that the information contained in any of my materials, including this video, is general information, and you should consult with competent legal licensed counsel where you are going to make a decision about what action to take. In the event that you hear anything on my materials, my videos, or the books, or the blog that conflicts with advice that you are receiving from competent legal licensed counsel local to the property in which you are involved, then you should always take the advice of the attorney with whom you have consulted. So let's talk about the steps towards freedom and how that has evolved as a strategy on the Living Lies blog, basically taking the information that I've received back from attorneys, pro se litigants, bankers, real estate brokers, and other people. These steps towards freedom are taken from the feedback that I have received from people who have utilized the strategies of the Garfield continuum in connection with both court actions and non-court actions. I've gotten feedback, wonderful feedback, from lawyers, from pro se litigants, real estate brokers, and bankers, and a number of other people. And I've boiled down the steps that I think are appropriate to the following. First is getting your information together. There's an intake form on the blog, which I recommend that you use, and it's free, which requires you to fill in a lot of information that any lawyer or any forensic auditor or any expert is going to ask you for anyway. Second, you need to collect documents. There are many different types of documents that may be required, and sometimes it varies from one case to another. Generally speaking, if you are familiar with the intake form and familiar with real estate transactions, you might not need any help collecting your data and your information. If you do, there is a service on the Living Lies store, www.livinglies-store.com, which will provide backup support for you to talk to a live person in getting your information together. Now, remember, these people are just to assist you in clerical tasks. They are not lawyers. They are not accountants. They are not forensic auditors. They are just customer service people who generally know what to ask you for and how to help you in getting your information together. After you've gotten your information together and after you've assembled your documents, then you need to locate a forensic analyst or a TILA auditor or somebody who can review your documentation and help you prepare a qualified written request under the Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act or a debt validation letter or both, so that you can direct questions which really seek, in the case of securitized residential home loans, they seek two answers. Who's my creditor and how much do I owe, if anything? And you will find that most of the time the answers you get are at best evasive. Many times there is no answer. But it's important that you follow through with these particular steps in order to establish your footprints in the sand, because you're going to be taking potentially further steps. Then the next thing you need to do is to have an expert. Now, the expert could be a lawyer, it could be an accountant, it could be a real estate expert, it could be a mortgage expert. Review all of your data, all of your documents, and the report of the forensic analyst or TILA auditor, and issue an expert declaration or affidavit that describes your loan, describes the securitization process, assuming your loan was securitized, and in most cases it will have been, and comes to certain conclusions and opinions regarding the status of your loan, the status of your obligation, the status of your note, the status of your mortgage or deed of trust.